Smackdown was good last night, and it was a lot of it was the way that it was layered, the way that the show flowed into one.
John Cena's promo, because he sort of, we're back to the babyface John Cena, and last week we were questioning it, right? We were thinking, is this a swerve? Is this not a swerve? And then after the events that unfolded at SummerSlam, we realized, okay, not a swerve. Mark, we ran a poll here on Busted Open. We asked the people whether or not they felt, because everybody came off of that feeling like it was not a legitimate babyface turn. And we got like 78 to 80%, maybe even higher than that, of people that legitimately thought this was going to be a swerve. And then it wasn't. It was legitimate. So how did you feel about John Cena's promo last night, where he basically kind of told the crowd, like, hey, man, like, I'm almost done. I don't want you guys to forget me. And it was sort of this somber reminder that, hey, John Cena's out the door in a handful of days.
Well, I mean, all you got to do is go back to the last time you and I were on radio. And I said, just like Roman Reigns, John Cena, all he would have to do is to say, I'm sorry. He is so beloved, so respected, that all he had to do was say, guys, I know I've been an asshole, but I'm sorry. And this is why. And same thing we said with Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns needed to go to the family and just, I've not been a benevolent leader. I don't deserve to lead you. And if I have to relinquish it, fine. I just want my family back. And it's all over with. Because of the affection and the respect for that individual wrestling-wise. That's what we got last night. And John did something that I explained this last night, and Benjamin was on with us, me and Susumu, and I explained that on After Dark that I've had a lot of losses in the last couple of years because I'm at that age where, you get 50, 55 years old, all of the elders that you grew up with are in their 80s and 90s, and they start to depart the earth. And you start thinking to yourself, damn, what about my legacy? What am I going to leave to my kids? What am I going to leave to the world? How are they going to remember me? And you're a young woman, so you're not having those thoughts. But your mortality, it starts to creep up on you when you get close to 50 or past 50. You're at the halfway point. And I think John Cena's promo came off as a halfway point promo. It came off as, I always say I want a street named after me. John Cena's promo last night made me go, okay, you get it. He's like, I want to be respected. I want people to appreciate what I did, and I don't want to be forgotten. More than anything, the emphasis was on, I see these young people. I see that there's people coming up that's going to be really good. The business is healthy. But I don't want to be forgotten. I thought it was amazing.
Wow, Mark, I gotta say, you took this to a place that I didn't think you would, and it left me going, damn, man, your explanation of all of that made me actually enjoy more what we saw last night from John Cena, because when I was watching it, I started to feel, man, I feel like we skipped 40 chapters to get here. This is one of those things where you're watching a TV series and they got to get to the season finale, so they're starting to rush things and they're starting to skip over things, and you're like, no, I was invested in this character for such a long time, and suddenly now we skipped what could have been at least a whole season or 5 more episodes or whatever. And I feel like anybody here who's like a hardcore TV watcher has felt that about a certain character at some point, where you're thinking, oh, come on now. Really? That could have been a whole season. I know for a fact that could have been a whole season. That's how I felt about this John Cena babyface promo, where I thought, yeah, it's nice and I'm going to clap for you. I might even shed a little tear at the end of it all. But damn, I feel like we just glossed over so much. We fast forwarded the whole thing. It feels like the moment from heel to babyface. Like, I hate that we were sitting here, everybody questioning whether or not the babyface turn was legit when it actually happened, because come on, that's not the way it should have been. I think the babyface turn should have had this moment of euphoria where everybody together was like, yeah, it happened. And maybe it was like that for a couple of people, but a lot of people were looking at it going, well, can I really trust the guy here?
Between pro wrestling and Hollywood. That's the one thing that The Rock didn't do. He didn't say, there are people that have dreams and aspirations of being on the big screen. I want to help that. There are people in Hollywood that say, man, you were a pro wrestler. That seems so cool, man. I love to be able to get involved. John Cena can be that conduit between Hollywood to wrestling. Like, there's so much that he can do. And with how smart he is, I understate this when I say that he is intelligent. John is one of the smartest people I ever met. I have 4 billionaires in my phone that are really smart people. John Cena's in that category smart. Like, he can be whatever he wants because, one, he's got the work ethic. He's got the smarts. He's got the cachet. And he's got a lot of damn money. That will get you very, very far.
Mark, I think all the listeners right now are trying to do the math and being like, okay, let me try to predict what 4 billionaires Mark has on his phone. That's where my brain went to. I was like, this person, that person. We know John Cena's one. And I was starting to do the process of elimination of who those 4 billionaires are.
I don't think John is at $1 billion yet, but Mark Cuban is up there at the top of the list. I've known Mark for years and years and years.
Oh, shit. I was trying to wonder who the 4th person was. Okay, so now I feel like I pretty much got it all in here. It's in my head.
That guy is, I value school and education. And I tell my kids, look, I know that I didn't finish school, but I didn't finish school because I was making the kind of money that people go to college to try to make. My life is different than yours. Until you get to where I am, you got to go to school. You got to hand me a degree to be able to do whatever you want, because you may not be me. And I'm not wishing that you don't. I hope that you do. And when that day comes, I'm like, oh, you signed for what? Man, you don't have to go to school no more. If you want to finish because you just want to finish, great. But if you're making $1.5 million, out the gate, how can I tell you need to go now, turn that money down and go back and be poor? Can't do it. I wouldn't do it. It wouldn't make good sense. So that's kind of like the way I see this situation.
Mark, I remember you telling me that you used to road trip or used to ride with John Cena, many, many moons ago. And when you think about that time period, and at that time, you didn't know, and he didn't know, nobody knew all of the great things that he would go up to do.
He didn't know, I knew.
Oh, okay. So tell us about that. How'd you know?
I knew because when he asked questions, he implemented what you told him immediately. The next day, or in that drive, you get to the town. I remember we drove to Carrollton, Kentucky one time. And he was a babyface. I'm the bad guy. We're in different locker rooms. We don't see each other. So it's not like I'm talking to him during 2.5 hours before the show. No communication. And what I told him in the car, he did in that match that he had. And I remember going, damn, that was quick. Like, but when people get it, they get it. Everybody don't. I told valuable jewels to people, and I end up going to them going, hey man, when you gonna start doing this?
Next time, Mark, next time, I swear.
Yeah. You get that, or you go, oh man, you know what, man, I forgot you told me that. No, man, look, do it. Like, that's going to work. That kind of coaching John has done over the last 25 years. He has been that guy for a lot of wrestlers. The ideas got Bryan Danielson, another brilliant mind. If he tells you to do something, do it, because not only is it instinctual, it's taught. He paid attention to everything that somebody ever taught him. Like, John has a damn near photographic memory. I've seen him take a promo, regurgitate it, if you will, if that's a word, mix it up and change it, and it's better than what he was given. And then you go out there and remember it, and it may be 10 minutes of dialogue, and you did that in one day. Because when we go out, you get to the arena, it's 5 hours to the show. You got 5 hours to make that you and to make it memorable for a lifetime. And I've been in those situations with famous actors. They come to wrestling and they think they're going to get a teleprompter. And we go, no, we don't do that here. Like, you got to, once we go live, you got to, live? What do you mean live? Bro, at 8 o'clock, the show's going to be live. No, I don't do live. John Cena never blinked, flinched, winced, or nothing. Live? Okay. Send me out there.